Koma bale. Malawi si koma. Tonight, the whole nation is buzzing. Social media is on fire, WhatsApp groups are screaming, and everyone is asking the same question. Kodi Uthenga Wabwela Usiku uno ndi chani chomwe chikupangitsa anthu kulira motere? The phrase Uthenga Wabwela Usiku uno ndiombesa chisoni. Literally, a message came tonight that carries deep sorrow, has exploded across Facebook, TikTok, and even those anti-WhatsApp statuses that break the internet before dawn. And just like that, the country is split into two camps. The emotional ones who say, "Ai, ndiye zachitika izi," and the skeptical ones who go, "Mwamva zimenezi? Koma nto amakonda drama." But what is this message really? Where did it start? And why are some already pointing fingers kutukwa na dada before the full story is even out? Tonight, we dig deeper into this cryptic midnight announcement and the chaos that followed. You're tuned in to Global Pulse News, the home of wit, wisdom, and straight talk, with just enough chichewa spice to keep it real. So, fasten your seatbelt, Bwenzelanga, because this story, it's heavier than Nsima without relish. Let's unpack it, step by step, fact by fact. Now, before we start jumping to conclusions like we are in a gospel choir, let's rewind the tape. This Uthenga didn't fall from heaven. It started circulating late last night around 11 p.m. Multiple Facebook pages, mostly anonymous, started posting cryptic texts with emotional undertones. No context, just the phrase, Uthenga Wabwela Usiku uno ndiombesa chisoni. Some thought it was breaking news, maybe a tragedy, maybe a political leak. Others believed it was spiritual, a prophetic message or a coded warning. Within minutes, screenshots spread faster than hot gossip at a village borehole. But what's fascinating, though, is that the message spread before any reliable source explained what it meant. The vacuum of facts became fertile ground for rumor. Typical Malawi social media energy. Wasati mutiese, tijiwakale zimenezi kuchitika. Everyone became a journalist overnight. But the actual origin, sources trace it to a short audio clip that surfaced on WhatsApp. A voice, emotional and shaky, announcing what seemed to be bad news about an influential figure. Whether real or doctored, the voice carried emotional weight. People believed it instantly because it sounded real. That's how emotional contagion works. The tone becomes the truth. The message wasn't even fully understood, but the nation felt it. And that's how it began. One vague message, one emotional trigger, and boom, a national frenzy. Transition. But abale, every storm benefits someone. Nothing trends without a sponsor, visible or invisible. Which brings us to fact number 3. Who actually profits from the confusion? Listen, in Malawi, when a rumor drops, the people who shout loudest aren't always the ones who know the most. They just love the sound of their own echo. Quickly, political commentators, influencers, and even microbloggers began weaving stories around this sad message. One influencer even posted, "Tikuembekezera Uthenga wavomerezerwa kwama zikuoneka ngati zinthu zaturuka manja." Translation, "We are waiting for confirmation, but it looks like things are out of hand." By morning, political Facebook pages had already framed the narrative, turning emotion into ammunition. Some hinted it was a sign of government failure, others claimed it symbolized national sorrow. Nobody cared to verify, everyone cared to go viral. And don't get me started on TikTok. Antu hapa TikTok ndiya mpangu, emotional duets, fake tears, spiritual background music, full drama. Someone even captioned it, "Tienyi tikumbukire Malawi yatu," like it was a national memorial. See, in a country where emotions move faster than data bundles, whoever controls the emotional tone controls the conversation. That's how a dada, or the symbolic father figure in this case, became a lightning rod for blame. People weren't reacting to facts, they were reacting to feelings. So while the origin was small, the echo chamber turned it into a storm. Transition. But abale, every storm benefits someone. Nothing trends without a sponsor, visible or invisible. Which brings us to fact number 3.
Now this is where the plot thickens like pala yamgaiwa. When the nation's emotions are stirred, 3 groups always rise. Content creators chasing traffic, political strategists spinning narratives, and opportunists feeding on attention. Let's start with Group 1, the digital hustlers. To them, Uthenga Wabwela Usiku wasn't tragedy, it was content. Every post, every remix, every caption was monetized engagement. Some pages gained thousands of followers overnight. You know that one page that posts breaking, Malawi in shock? That one. Group 2, the political whisperers. These are the masters of emotional timing. They don't start the fire, but they sure know how to fan it. They twist every emotional message into political commentary. Suddenly, a vague midnight message becomes proof of leadership failure. Or, for the opposing camp, evidence of propaganda. And finally, the third group, ordinary people craving connection. Ironically, they're the biggest victims and participants. They share because they care, but also because they don't want to feel left out. Unto akukamba za utenga uja, let me post it too. See, chaos sells, confusion trends, and emotion equals currency. So, who profits? Everyone except the truth. Transition. But while everyone's cashing in, something darker is happening. Silence. Let's move to fact number 4, the voices that never got heard. Malawi loves noise until silence becomes suspicious. While social media roared, very few paused to ask, Kodi Uthenga umeneo ukunena chiani kweni? Because sometimes silence hides pain. The real victims, the families affected, or the truth itself. Here's the pattern. When emotional news drops, mainstream media waits for confirmation. But the public, they don't wait. And in that waiting gap, misinformation grows like weeds after the first rain. Meanwhile, some people directly linked to the event, the real humans behind the sadness, couldn't speak up. Their pain became public entertainment. Someone's tragedy became someone else's TikTok skit. And that's what makes this message omvesachisoni. Not just its content, but how it was consumed. Another layer, cultural silence. In Malawi, respect often means not questioning emotional news. Ngati mtumwalira musafunze zambiri. But that very respect can suppress truth. And just like that, silence becomes complicity. So while influencers profit and politicians strategize, those who know the truth keep quiet, out of fear or respect or fatigue. And yet, that silence speaks volumes. Transition, which brings us to the final and most powerful truth. How do we as citizens decode such messages without losing our heads or hearts? Let's wrap it up with fact number 5. Now, let's get practical about Leanga. Rule number 1, verify before you amplify. Just because something makes you feel doesn't mean it's true. Emotions are not evidence. If you can't trace the source beyond heard it on WhatsApp, then pause, take a sip of water, and ask, am I sure? Rule number 2, check who benefits. If the message conveniently pushes a certain narrative, be it political, spiritual, or social, then ask who stands to gain from your reaction. There's always someone pulling the emotional strings. Rule number 3, don't be a parrot, be a pulse. Don't repeat, reflect. Ask deeper questions. What's the context? What's missing? Who's silent? And rule number 4, stay human. The world is noisy, But empathy is quiet power. Before sharing that next sad message, think of the people it might hurt. Sometimes compassion means shutting up. So next time you see Uthenga Wabwela Usiku uno, remember, it's not just the message that matters, it's the meaning you choose to attach to it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the message that fell, it's about how we rise above it. Let's be real. The story of Uthenga Wabwela Usiku uno ndi omvesa chisoni isn't just about one night, one message, or one rumor. It's a mirror. It shows us how we react, how fast we assume, and how easily we let emotion become our headline. What started as a cryptic midnight phrase turned into a digital wildfire. But deep down, the real question isn't what happened. It's why do we keep letting unverified words shake an entire nation? Here's my take. We crave connection, but we're starving for truth. We share fast because we want to feel something real. Yet the more we share without thinking, the more the truth gets buried under likes and laughs. Malawi deserves better conversations. Not louder, but smarter ones. And maybe that's what this whole saga is teaching us, that sometimes the saddest messages aren't about loss, but about how we handle information. Now your turn, Wenzilanga. What's your take? Do you think this Uthenga was manipulated for attention? Or do you believe it carried genuine emotion that Malawi just misunderstood? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. Let's dissect this together. Because here on Global Pulse News, we don't just read the pulse, we become it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay woke, and above all, musakale galu pa social media, amene amasaka nyama ya soa, mukale mkango wanzeri.